Is it called Tiger something?
No. Why would it be? Because of this?
Yes.
Don't be daft. All right, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tiger Talks, the only show where your host is wearing a dope tiger shirt on every single episode. I'm your host, Elijah Cortez. Today we're joined by a very special guest. Please welcome to the stage, Amelia Dial.
It's not a stage, it's a couch, but thank you.
No, we are on the couch right now. It's not a stage, unfortunately. But Amelia, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you feeling this fine spring/summer afternoon?
I feel good. It's kind of hot today, but I feel good.
Yeah, it is kind of hot. We've been getting a lot of rain because it's been springtime, but we're looking into some nice highs of 80s, and it's going to be a great summer, if I do say so myself.
I'm glad you know.
So we're not here to talk about the weather. So thanks for bringing that up, Amelia, for making it interesting.
I'm sorry.
So the topic today, as you know, in Tiger Talks, we start with a prompt or a question or a thought, and we just go from there, and we just kind of see where we end up. So is that cool with you?
Yeah.
It's cool with you. It's cool with me. Let's get into it.
Okay.
All right. So the first question I want to ask today is, what do you know?
That's it? That's the question?
That's the question. What do you know?
Wow, that's so vague. What?
I've had this topic planned for you particularly for a while.
Why?
Because we are having a conversation a couple of days ago, and I was like, what do you know? And you're like, not much. And we started talking about what that means. And I said, you know what? That's how we're starting off our Tiger Talk. So what do you know, Amelia?
I mean, I remember that conversation, but the conversation was more about the fact that the older you get and the more experienced you get, you realize, like, as you learn more, you don't know anything.
And why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's mostly a maturity thing where you come to a realization. I don't know, like when you're young, or I don't know if you were ever told this, like while you were growing up, but my parents used to say all the time particularly when I was a teenager, they would say things like, if I was like misbehaving or arguing with them or whatever, they would say these things like, oh, you think you know everything, but you don't, you know? And it's like, as a teenager, you kind of do think you know everything. Like you're like, oh, I know what I'm talking about, even though you have zero experience in life. But I think it's like a maturity thing where as you get older and you learn more and more, you realize that there's not really all that much that you're sure about or all that much that you know about. And I think it's kind of a humbling thing where you just sort of, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. And it's kind of ironic, the fact that the wisest people in the world, the smartest people in the world are the ones that will generally tell you pretty consistently that they don't know all there is to learn. And in fact, they don't know. The first thing they'll say when you say to them, oh, you're smart, oh, you're wise, oh, you're this, that, is no, but this person knows a lot more than me. Oh, no, I really don't know that much. Oh, they'll reference it. And because I think by nature, like, knowledge and wisdom goes hand in hand with realizing that you don't have it all. Like I told you a story, and I'll tell you guys, viewers/listeners, a story. There was someone I knew growing up that sometime in their teenage years, they referenced the fact, oh, I think I pretty much know all I need to know at this point. Like I think I know all the information I need to know of how the experience is. And it's just dumbfounding because it's like, what do you know at 15? In your mid-20s, you look back at your teens and you're like, I didn't know anything then. I still don't know anything. And so it's crazy to think that, like, as you go along, like, you really, how can which leads me to our next question. How can you know what you know?
These are just arbitrary, like, what kind of question is that, Elijah?
Think about it. When we say that we know something, what does it mean to know it?
I think generally when someone says that they know something, they really mean that there is a piece of information / experience that they had that causes them to be confident in that fact or truth.
What makes you confident in the knowledge you have?
Well, I think many things can make you confident in the knowledge you have. I mean, I'm confident in my knowledge of the Lord because I have this entire relationship with him that I've built throughout my life. And because of that strong, intimate relationship that I have with God, I'm confident that there is a God. And then I'm confident in, I mean, there's like typical practical things that you can be confident. I'm confident that if I drive down the road with my eyes closed, I'm going to get into a car accident. Those are like logical things that you come to know and can be confident in.
Yeah, that's good. Which reminds me of, when you're driving and, you could get into a wreck or you could be safe, but it all starts when you're about 15 or 16, 16, and you get your driver's license, which brings us to the next part of the conversation.
I was not prepped for any of this.
What do you think of Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo? Go.
Of course you would ask me this question.
That was also the other thing that I particularly wanted to bring up, just because it came to mind and I thought it'd be a good conversation.
Is that why you've been singing that all today?
No, it's just been in my head.
Oh, okay.
And so I thought, why not channel that into a beneficial conversation?
That's good.
What do you really think about the song?
Okay. So
it's been a hot topic. I want you to weigh in. You're professional. Now that we've established a precedent of knowledge, I want to know what is your opinion of this current fact, because it's blowing up. Maybe I'm a couple months late on this, but
I mean you are, but
here we are. What do you think of Driver's License? Okay,
objectively, if I may say so myself, objectively, I think it is a well-written song.
Dope.
I really do. I think it's relatable in a way, which is why it's like kind of popping off like it is, because I think, and from what I've heard from other people talking about it and stuff, it's essentially this like heartbreak song of, I mean, I've heard the song, but you know what I mean? It's this heartbreak song where like this person was in love with this guy.
Olivia, yeah. Josh Bassett.
Well, yeah. Sure. So she was in love with this guy, thought that it was going to last forever, which is typically what people think when they're in relationships, particularly when they're young. And their heart was broken, and they're thinking of all these memories and how it affected them.
And now he's with Sabrina Carpenter too, which doesn't help the problem.
I'm so not well versed with like pop culture.
You know what I think? I think the song's a problem, and here's why. I think you
no.
Okay, no, you go ahead and finish.
I'm getting there.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, well, I'm getting to the part. I want to be nice I want to build it up first.
These pillows are super cushy. I don't know where to put my elbow.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry that my house is not good enough for you.
It's just too comfortable. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay. So I think overall it's well written. I think that it's very relatable because most people have gone through some sort of heartbreak, and like I've even heard of people who are like happily married and they're like really getting into this song.
I know. Can you believe it?
I'm like, okay. I don't know. It's just a relatable thing that people have been through before, I think. But,
I've never been sad.
Okay.
Let the record show.
Well.
Here on Tiger Talks, we don't believe in feelings. We only believe in the raw.
I'm not the right person to be here, but thanks for inviting me. So that in itself, I think it's like pretty good, but I have a few issues with it.
Oh no, what's the problem?
Musically,
is it a chord structure?
No.
Amelia is very musical, so we make music jokes because I was in music at Emmanuel College, and she also does music herself. Yeah. So
yes, I do.
So we can talk about chord structures and
no. I actually
lyricism.
I think musically it's really good. Actually, I think it's very like it has that element that kind of special element musically that makes a song really, really go off with people with like, that's why it's pop.
Okay. Well, musically, that like, because it's very interesting to think about like kind of what songs, what different things kind of pop off, what songs go viral, what songs make it, which ones don't. What do you think it is about it that like, because everyone loves it, everyone knows it and sings it. What do you think it is like analytically that makes it, if you had to like talk about this aspect or that factor of it, why do you think it's like big?
I think mainly it's big because it's relatable. But I think
lyrical content.
I do, but I think musically, people love the whole like soulful, belt your heart out ballad kind of thing. People love that, particularly teenage girls love that. So like, I think that part of it, the fact that it's this soulful, deep felt, like she's belting her heart out kind of song, I think that it goes well with popular. It's kind of like a lot of Adele songs do that. This very like deep, gut wrenching, belty kind of songs.
Yeah.
People like that stuff.
It's like, I was reading this book. It's called Contagious by Jonah Berger. I'm going to put the image up there. But it's called Contagious by Jonah Berger. And he talks about the aspects of what makes something go viral. And he talks about emotionality of the product service idea and how certain emotions are better to go, not just simply because it's emotional going viral, but certain emotions going viral. So like if it's something that just simply makes you sad, for instance, that's more of a, how did you phrase it? Not passive, but it's more like, when you're sad, you're more prone to just kind of like chill, eat ice cream and stuff. If you're angry, you're more likely to pop off, tell someone about it, do something about it. If you're happy, excited, you're liable to do something about it, tell someone about it. And it's a sad song, but it also kind of makes you like, not me, but like people, people that angry at like the other girl was like, because like he leaves her for someone else or whatever. So there's people like, I can see like these high schoolers just like, that was you, Brian. That was you, Brian. You did this to my heart.
See,
and
I don't
make
know.
it about them.
I don't know because I don't feel that with that song. I mean, I know that. No, listen. So I know. I mean, she mentions this other girl that he's found.
The blonde girl.
The blonde girl.
Who always made her doubt. That girl.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's from the song.
Yeah. So I don't think it's, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think the part of it that's relatable is quite so much an angry feeling or a jealous feeling even really of the other girl, but more of an internal thing of, oh, he's with this other girl that always made her doubt, which to me speaks more to kind of a self-conscious thing where it's like, not so much, oh, I'm angry that you're with this other girl, but more so of a thing where it's like, why wasn't I what you wanted or good enough?
Because he left Olivia to be with Sabrina.
Right.
Oh,
which I'm not trying to like
Oh,
psychoanalyze Olivia.
Oh!
It's not that serious.
It is though.
But I
songs
think,
and responses to the response songs, and it's a whole deal.
as someone who is well versed in writing sad songs, I think it speaks more to an internal struggle than it does to the external fact.
Can I use this?
Yeah.
I just need more support for my elbow.
Okay.
All right.
I think that it speaks more to an internal thing than it does the external, oh, I'm angry that you're with another girl.
Well, that's interesting because I don't know. I think about that song and song. I can't really say songs like that because this is the first time something like this has actually happened. You get these kids that like are in this show or whatever, these high school kids that are just given like status, given money, given popularity, and they're like, it's literally what like passing notes in high school or ever used to be, starting rumors in high school used to be, but now it's like, oh, we just have a public like stage. So now we can literally just like trash on each other in these songs and like go viral for it, but literally we're just like venting and complaining to Monica about what Brian did, just like on a bigger scale, and it's like dragging along the whole culture for the ride.
I guess so. I don't know though, because like I said, I feel like it's more of an internal thing than external. I think it's an expressive thing, a way to get out what she's feeling. I highly doubt that she anticipated it like flying away like it did.
Yeah. Or maybe the label just planned for that to happen. I don't know.
Or they might have. I don't know.
I just know that like when I write music, Elijah Cortez, go check it out on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, all that jazz. Anyway, when I write music, I don't know. I don't always. It's emotional and it's real, but I don't think it's for me. And we've talked about this, but like it's not always like attached to like the deepest emotion. It's like it's very easy for me personally, and that's just me, to write songs and write music about. Just whatever the concept may be that is come up with for the sake of like having a good song or like something good, the lyrics and the feeling of it is secondary to like the way the music itself makes you feel, whatever. Yeah. Which not everyone's like that. And I guess like that song's definitely not like that or whatever.
Right.
But
I mean, it could be, I guess, because we've talked about,
I think it's probably based in like their real whatever.
Probably. But even
they had real beef or whatever.
I guess. I don't know.
That's what Snapchat.
I actually don't know the story
me.
behind it, but I don't need to know. But I think
it's not important. It's drama, high school drama.
But it kind of speaks to even the way that we see the song individually, because we've talked about how our writing style is different in that way.
So tell everyone what is more your style of writing music you think?
So I actually, and I've told you this, admire the fact that you're able to write songs just about a general concept in order to make a good song, because I can't do that. My writing style is very deeply rooted in things that I feel. So that's why if I'm not feeling any particular, which this is not common for me, but if I'm not particularly feeling a very deep emotion, whether that's good or bad about something, I can't write. I feel like I'm stuck, like I don't have any material. But like I said, not often. I tend to feel very deeply most of the time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so my songs come from a place of less about, oh, I just want to write a good song. I do want to write good music, but it comes more from a place of, I have these really deep feelings that I want to somehow get out of me. And so most, I would say most, if not all of my songs come from some real authentic feeling that I have, which I'm also just really big about authenticity anyway. So I almost feel like if I were to try to write a song just about a concept, that I would feel phony.
Interesting. Yeah. There's a lot to say for that too, because some of the, I mean, not some, most of like the greatest songs that have gone down in history and billboards, even like just popular ones, are just from very real places and from artists taking, I mean, I hate to reference her, but Taylor Swift, for instance, to whatever is, I guess, real or made up about her songwriting material. Yeah. I mean, it's I assume that it's like based on real stuff because she dates a lot of guys, so she breaks up with a lot of guys. I'm assuming,
but there's also that rumor, that...
So she's had them all ghostwritten or whatever?
Oh. No, that's not where I was going, but okay. Geez, just come for her life.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard that either.
No, the people talking about how, like, oh, that's why she breaks up with guys and gets with other guys is because it gives her song material. Do
you think that's true?
I don't know.
Do you know Taylor?
I don't know her. I really don't.
Well, we have a special guest here today.
If Taylor Swift pulled up to my house,
Taylor Swift, everybody.
I don't know what I would do. No, but seriously, I'm not for that either. I don't know that she does that, but I'm also not for or advocating that someone should create real life experiences in order to write good music. Like I'm not gonna seek out heartbreak so that I can write a good heartbp song.
That sucks.
Because that's not real either.
Like, gives me a good song, but like. Yeah. It makes your life suck.
It does. And it's not authentic. If your goal is to write authentic music out of your own experiences, don't manufacture experiences for that. Like it defeats the purpose, in my opinion. But I do admire the fact that you're able to write songs just out of a concept just to make good music, because I think it gives you a lot more to work with. Like I've told you before, I struggle with writing too many sad songs, not because I'm just a depressed person and I'm always sad, but because I think when I feel heartbreak or when I feel kind of sadder things, it runs a bit deeper than I don't know how to describe that. It's kind of like I become more creative out of a deeper emotion or a sad emotion than I do out of a really happy emotion. I feel like when I'm really happy, I want to go and do things and hang out with people. Mm-hmm. And when I have something sad that's like bearing on my heart or whatever, I'm like, ooh, let me get really...
You want to be alone anyway, and so you want to express it, and so you get behind the piano and you're like, come and driving lights. Yeah.
Right.
Last week.
Exactly, just like that.
Anyway, interesting.
Yeah, I like the song. I don't like how hyped it is, but that's just me.
Yeah,
I have issues with hype things.
I'm over it, and I'm over her just because she's released a couple more, and I'm just like.
I don't like her newer stuff. That might change because sometimes I really dislike music, and then I listen later and I like it. But I don't mind. When I first listened to Driver's License, I was like, ooh, she's good, but it was so hyped up, and I can't stand that.
She's good, but she's not that good.
It's not even that. It's the fact that I have some sort of weird complex where I can't handle things that the masses love, which is so bad. But it's true. I'm like, ugh. Well, this person and this person and this person posted about it, which makes me really not want to listen to it.
Because then you have...
Not those specific people, but the fact that there's so many people posting about it.
Yeah, it makes it less special even to like mention it or whatever, just because like, oh, you're identified. It's like low key almost like, not that where people are sheep, but not to say that necessarily, but like there's a herd mentality. It's like, oh, I'm posting this because other people posted this, or I like this song because other people like this, or I like this song because it's the kind of thing that other people would like or would recognize. And it becomes not because intrinsically the song is good, but because, oh, it's got this many likes, or it would give me this kind of status in this social currency, and it would do this for me. And then it becomes like everything, like how the Hunger Games is all about ratings and they're killing people. And it's like, not to that extreme, but it's like, okay, it's like, you're just doing it for the, like, just if it's simply for the hype.
Yeah.
It reduces authenticity.
It does, which really bugs me.
So you're a purist, a cultural purist.
I just like real things. I don't like when people fake things for attention or fake things to seem, individual, or to me it's pointless. I think what makes people individual is the fact that people are just, in general, all people are unique. And so if you stick to who you are, then you end up being individual. Like that's how that works. And so if someone is attempting to be individual, it's just like
Monsters Inc.
What? In what way?
It's like Monsters Inc. because all the monsters are different, and no one wants to be. Well, I mean, everyone wanted to be Sully, but like,
True.
Let's be real. But like, they were like, oh, I wish I had like their features, because if Mike had, two eyes and was like Sully, then he wouldn't be good for
2 eyes.
If he looked like, if Mike looked like Sully,
Okay.
then
That's not their only difference. It's the number of eyes they have.
Okay,
but I understand what you mean.
If he was like Sully or Waternoose, then he wouldn't be able to do the things that
he does.
He does.
Right. Oh.
And if say, or if the other monsters were jealous of the other monsters, then, come to think of it, there was no really specialized task. Sully was just strong.
That's true.
They weren't actually, this defeats my point. They're not actually individual. They look different, but they all had the same boring office job.
They did.
I can't ruin this movie for myself. I'm going to stop this kind of
That is a good movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. I love
Monsters. Okay. Every time I've tried to watch Monsters Inc. in the past, like, no, every
You've
time,
told me this.
Every time I've tried to watch Monsters Inc. in the past, what was it? Since like 2015 or 16. It's been really late at night and I've always fallen asleep.
I know, and that's really unfortunate because that's a great movie.
It's a great movie. I'd say Disney's second to Toy Story, because I have to say Toy Story.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, all that to say, individuality.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yes, be yourself.
That's what Barney taught me growing up.
Good. I loved Barney growing up.
I loved Barney growing up, but then when I reached like 12 or 13, my little brother and sister liked Barney, and they were at that age. I hated him. I hated Barney. I was like, so stupid.
Is that what you did?
I did, and then I'd go back to playing my DS, playing Mario Kart.
That's fun.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that my pillows aren't good enough for you.
Your pillows are so comfortable, but I just need like 5 of them to have enough like arm support. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about when it's like there's so many pillows and like you're
really
trying
squishy.
to lean on them, not lean like into them.
They're really
and
squishy.
so I'm just kind of like trying to sit up and I'm like kind of sinking. Where did you get these pillows?
Target, I think.
Nice. Target's what's up.
I get a lot of things at Target.
Target's nice.
Which I know makes me like really basic, but Target has good stuff. Target's one of those places that has good stuff that you're not going to like break your bank on, which is the goal of any 24-year-old.
So you pride yourself on being individual, but you love Target.
I do, but the thing is, the difference between that is if I were to say, oh, I don't like Target because a lot of people like Target, then it just wouldn't be authentic.
Because then you wouldn't like it just because other people do like it.
Which
and you're
is
still,
not authentic.
And you're still going off of what society is doing.
Right.
See, that's the thing. Anyway, yeah. But
yeah.
It all goes back.
It
all ties together.
It does.
But these are nice.
Thank you.
Nice pillows.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But yeah, Target's great.
Yeah.
There's one in the Target where we shop at. There was a food court, and I don't know if this is like all Targets, so drop a comment down below if this is like the Target in your area. But in ours, they had a food court that was amazing. Best popcorn, best corn dogs, but then they took it out.
That's really sad.
That's all that story was.
That's really. They have Starbucks. Is that what it's there?
Yeah.
Or is that Barnes and Nobles has Starbucks? I love Barnes and Noble.
Starbucks apparently has a really high starting minimum wage. So if anyone's trying to get a job, plus lots of room for benefits. So if anyone's trying to get a job,
older brother worked at Starbucks.
A baristo. Sorry, I get the pronoun, not the like in Spanish masculine baristo. Continue.
Yeah, he worked there for a little bit in high school. He liked it.
My first job was Taco Bell.
My first job was a frozen yogurt shop.
Gotta start somewhere, right?
No, it was great. It was great because I got free yogurt and a free sandwich because we also made sandwiches.
That's cool. Yeah, I would get the food that we messed up off the line until Melissa told us we couldn't do it anymore. We had to throw it away, and then it's so like because she said, "Oh, people are gonna start messing up orders on purpose," because the night shift was absolute they were trash.
Yeah,
and they would mess up the orders on purpose, but then we were doing the right thing and like we just mess up an order, then you just have to waste perfectly good food. Mm-hmm.
That is unfortunate.
I don't know, the joys of
I enjoyed my job. The only thing about my first job, though, I was in high school and it was local to my tiny little southern town, and everybody from my high school went there because I worked right after school, and everybody from my school would just show up.
So it's like Cheers.
What?
Like they show Cheers. It's like, well, everybody knows your name. It was like your yogurt shop at high school.
That's great, but I have no idea.
You're like that popular bartender that's like works there, but it's like an ice cream shop. So it's like, oh hey Amelia, oh hey Fred.
Yeah, but the problem was that I was like not a fan of high school or the people in it. I mean, I had some really good friends.
So you like yogurt, just not high school.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
No, but I mean, I had some really good friends in high school and stuff, but I just wasn't. High school was not my thing, and my high school tended to be a little bit pretentious, I guess, and so. Yeah, all these people from my high school would come in and I'd just kind of be like, I can't hide.
But you needed the money.
I did.
You needed that cheese.
I did. It's how I paid for gas. It's important.
The gas that you used to go
to school,
to the job and to school.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know, a vicious cycle, but
yeah.
What are you going to do, right? It's high school. High school was great for
me.
I
think that high schoolers should have jobs.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think it depends.
On what?
If you want money.
Well, I guess so. I don't know. I think it's good. I think it teaches life skills.
I suppose, but it also takes up time. You can be hanging out with friends, going to the lake, doing backflips and stuff.
Well, I did not do that, but...
Well, I lived a life growing up in my teenage years, hanging out with friends and doing backflips and stuff, so... I didn't
You
really
also didn't go to public school.
Oh, yeah. I was homeschooled, so my high school experience was pretty great. I was the most popular kid in my class. I was also the least popular kid in my class. So there was that.
That's really great. Yeah, I did go to public school.
What was that like?
That could be an entire episode.
That'll be a whole nother Tiger Talk. High school.
I'll teach you the ways of public school.
So what about elementary school?
Also public school.
How was that?
It was fine. I liked elementary school. Middle school is where everything went south.
Here's my problem with the school system.
Oh, no. All
right. Okay. So here's the deal. Mm-hmm. So I worked at a daycare recently and I did the math. And so these kids spend, now not every kid goes to daycare, granted, but these kids go to school in the morning at 7 or 8. Okay. Mm-hmm. They get off of school like maybe 1 or 2. They come to daycare until 4 or 5. They're back at home with their family for the remaining rest of the day until like 9, 10, when they're allowed to go to sleep, midnight, 2, whatever. 5, 6 hours. 7 maybe. And then they do it all again the next day.
Yes.
5 days a week for 12 years.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
No, sorry, 13 if you include preschool.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
So you pretty much spend more time at school and at daycare than you even do with your family.
Yes.
And like I get situations are different and no one you can't always control it, but like numerically that's like not much.
It's not, but usually in those situations the parents are full-time workers.
I know.
And so it's not like the parents are just chilling at home while their kids are at school and at daycare.
It's just, yeah. And I know like, cause families have to make money and kids have to get an education and like not everyone can homeschool. And like, I get that.
Both of my parents had full-time jobs. And so there was no way homeschooling was not an option.
It just seems so crazy. Like to think about just thinking of it in the sense of like, oh, okay, yeah, you get like 5 hours with your family a day, and that's not even including the time that like you're up in your room doing your own thing or want to be like
which
alone.
I did a lot of that in
or
high
want to be
school.
alone or sleeping. And so it's just like, wow, it's like it's kind of not as hard to see just like how across the board that system cookie cutter taken to every family in the nation, and then families are falling apart.
Yeah,
like,
but you know what?
key,
It was fine for us. I had more struggles with being in school itself than what it did to our family.
I guess that's fair. It's not really, you can't really make a blanket statement like that.
Plus it gave opportunity, because a lot of times, you know, when our parents, because our parents had different schedules throughout school years and stuff, but a lot of times, like my aunt, my mom's sister, would pick us up from school, and then we would hang out at her house for a little while, which was really fun. And a lot of times, I mean, we live right next to our grandparents, so I would go straight to my grandparents' house after school, like, you know.
Yeah, and maybe not like, okay, yeah, public school is not the reason that families crumble or anything like that.
No, I don't think so.
It's just
public school has a lot of problems.
It does make me see just kind of the emphasis that is placed on school and school activities and less than family and family activities. And then it's less surprising when kids grow up, families, you know, grow up, and then you don't really know your kids. You don't really affect your kids just because when your time is reduced that much more at home, it's like even like frivolous time can be seen as like just like wasted, because like, without feeling like, you have to like spend it a certain way. Like, I don't know. It just the emphasis is being a lot, even like before, it's not even like school is bad, because I mean, like I said, you need it and you need jobs, but I just think the emphasis on like, my life is like school and family is like the side quest. Like that's sad, because like,
it is sad.
Family should be not necessarily executed in like time or everyone being homeschooled, but like I feel like the family unit is from where the person growing up, the child, should be like becoming, instead of like letting peers and bullies and teachers and whatever just take like the primary like
I agree,
focus of developing a child. And so I don't know, I never went to school.
I mean, it's interesting though, because there's two sides of the coin, because it's not always the most negative thing, because there were a lot of negative things about being in public school growing up, but there were a lot of positive things as well. I had a lot of really great teachers who had influence on my life because I was in classes with them every day. And I mean, probably a lot of people that I wouldn't have had contact with if I didn't go to public school. And a lot of peers even, that had a lot of really good influence on me as well. And in fact, one of my biggest regrets, I mean, school was not the best thing for me growing up, but I mean, public school. But one of my biggest regrets is not being more involved in high school and stuff like that. I was so shut down from previous years where a lot of rough stuff had happened. But I was so shut down that I didn't even let myself open up to people. And not every kid in high school is vicious, you know. There are some. There's quite a few that are either just vicious or too good for everybody else or whatever. But I regret not opening myself up more. Even if it would have ended up in some shutdowns from people, I think it also would have led to a lot more positive relationships that I just wasn't even open to.
They say that for every 9 no's, it's 1 yes. But you got to get through the no's to get to the yes.
I mean, yeah.
That's basically hustle
true.
principle, hustle mentality.
It's true.
Goes the same for making friends in high school.
Yeah, it's
making
true.
friends is a hustle.
I did have a couple of really good friends though, and then there were even some people that I probably would have assumed wouldn't want to be around me, but really liked me and really just kind of. I had one particular friend who would have classified as more of a popular person because he was on an athletic team, and our school glorified that, like the most stereotypical.
Yeah.
And he was on an athletic team, and the popular crowd very much took him in. He didn't grow up in my town, but he like transferred in, and the popular group just kind of took him in. But he was really down to earth, and we got along really well. And when I first met him, I was really standoffish because I knew he was in that crowd, and I I just assumed that it would be an issue, but he just had the personality where he was like, that's dumb. Like, we're friends, and that's that. So I had a couple of people like that.
Yeah. I mean, I say all that, but like, I wish I had gone to at least high school. I really do, just for the opportunity of it.
I knew some people that were homeschooled throughout all of their lives until high school, and then they came to public school, and majority of those people that I know
popped off.
Well, they liked it. They really did.
Yeah. I think it would have been cool.
I think I would have liked high school more if I hadn't gone through public middle school.
Yeah, middle school is a very formative time in life.
It is.
If you've seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid, you know what it's like.
It actually is crazy.
Read Diary of a Wimpy. I read the first 8 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. I was dedicated. I went to the book fair with Kenny, and I picked up that first one. And I know Mom would not let me read this, but I want it. It looks cool, so I'm just gonna read it.
You just disobeyed your mother.
I did, and on the back of the book, it's written like I'm surrounded by morons or something like that. I crossed out the word morons in like a pen. Because I was like, oh no, it's got a bad word on the back.
Oh.
And so but I still read it. I was like, I read it under wraps. I didn't let Mom see it. And it was.
That's cute.
Because I was like, what was it, 2007, 8? What was it? I was like 11, maybe, when those books came out. So
yeah.
I just assumed that's
funny.
what middle school was like. So.
Middle school was crazy. I have horror stories from middle school. I really do. But. You know, you go through what you go through. It all makes up your story. Yeah,
that's what they say. But I never experienced that. But yeah, no, I don't know. I guess it's just like the focus of individual people and families, and my only point is like I don't think you can, at a principle based level, put the family's job on the school entirely.
No, not entirely,
to
for sure.
form a person with it, because you've got so many things coming from so many directions, and whereas that can and is a good thing to like challenge and to see different points of view and to go based off of that, ultimately, like, as a parent, you don't want your kids seeing like the craziness and being, oh, that's what we do. It's like, it's the parents' job to teach. But
I do think that does open up
at school.
Right. And I do think even sometimes that can open up the opportunity for the parent to parent.
A teaching
where it's
moment.
like, no, really, because I think a lot of times, even in public school, you see these kids who are not raised the way you're raised, and they behave a certain way that you weren't raised that way. And then sometimes that opens up, either you start behaving that way and your parent has to correct you, or it opens up situations where you would go back to your parent and be like, such and such does this. And then your parent has the opportunity to explain, why that's okay or why that's not okay. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then when Mom tells you, no, that's not how we do, you buck up and you say, that is how we do.
Oh, not in my family.
It's how we do it in the 6th grade.
Not in my family. No.
Well, no, not mine either. I say that now because I'm past it and it's funny to say, but anyway, which goes back to what do you know? What can you ever really know from from school or life or anything else? It's just this place of knowledge, and it brings people so much craziness. We're just meant to learn there, and it gives us life.
Right.
To know is to live.
You're going crazy.
You know what I'm saying? To know is to live.
Yeah. I think the difference is that you're always going to gain knowledge throughout life. You're going to gain knowledge from school. You're going to gain knowledge from, church. You're going to gain knowledge from
the sports field.
Sure. You're going to gain knowledge from other people. You're going to gain knowledge through experience. I think the notion and the awareness that the more you learn, the less you know, is wisdom. I think you are gaining the wisdom that this world and God and God's plan is so much more expansive and transcendent than we could ever even imagine. So I think it's a gaining of wisdom when you realize I know more than I've ever known in my entire life, but I know so little.
But just how limited your most even is.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like how in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, how she said, I want to know. And, if you can go ahead and play that clip on the screen. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No. And like
Thanks, producer Bob.
Oh, we named him/her Jamie on the web. So,
really?
Yeah, Jamie, roll that clip.
Pretty sure Jamie.
So no, but
names of people I work with.
She not that Jimmy. She says, "I want to know," and the alien's like, "Okay," and she's like, and like her head explodes. Like that's what it means. Like she wanted to know everything. Okay,
Yeah.
you can't handle it.
No.
So we've come full circle, and it's about time to wrap it up. So we're gonna wrap it up. Cool. Amelia, thank you so much for being on Tiger Talks today with us. Give her another round of applause, you guys. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, live studio audience that we definitely have.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd plug you and your music, but it's not released yet.
One day.
But can I plug your like social?
Yeah.
Go follow her on.
You don't even know my social handle.
We're going to put it up there above. We're going to put it in the comments below, up on the screen above, at Your Average Amelia, Instagram.
We've been so close
Go
for so
check her
long.
out. Go check me out on TikTok, Instagram, at the Elijah Cortez, and on YouTube, Elijah Cortez, as always. And this has been episode 2 of Tiger Talks. Keep listening for more. We're going to have a lot more episodes coming really soon with a lot of really cool people. Maybe some uncool people. Maybe we'll see. But it's going to be crazy. Keep looking out over the next couple days and weeks. And it's going to be great. Stay fierce, Tiger Nation.
Yeah.
Roar. And cut. That's a wrap.
I'm craving a hot dog.
Get me a soda. God.
Drop the bass.
That's going to be fun to edit.